Hey, I'm Jeff with AvidMax, and today we've got a bunch of the TFO reels with us. Wanted to be able to walk you through some of them, show you the similarities and the differences, and hopefully help you pick the one that might be best for you. So down here on the end we have the TFO Prism, and it's the kind of introductory reel from TFO here. It still has a lot of the features that are found on some of the higher end reels, but it also comes at a great price and it's great for somebody just getting into the sport here. So it's going to have a spool that's real easy to take on and off. That way you can buy a couple of extra spools if you've got a few different kinds of fly line. As you can see here, it has an exposed drag system and it's the cork discs. And as you see on the back here, it's got a little adjustment knob here, which as you crank it all the way down, provides quite a bit of drag. But one of the things I like about this is there's also a lot of room to spin this back and forth from all the way on to not on at all. The reason that's nice is it's going to give you a lot of adjustment. That way, as you're bringing that fish in, as it's fighting you, you're going to be able to make a lot of on-the-go adjustments so that you've always got that just right amount of tension as you're trying to bring them in. Well, the whole thing is made out of a cast. It's also covered with a really nice corrosion resistant material, so it's going to resist some dings, some scratches, but it's also not going to rust, anything like that on you if it's getting wet. You know, it goes in and out of the river a couple of times. It's going to hold up for you for quite a while. The next one here is the NXT reel. And as you just pick this one up, you're going to be able to tell it's made out of a lot lighter weight, kind of nicer feeling materials. So this one is made out of aluminum and it just feels really good in your hand. You can also see they've done a couple of clever things here in order to balance it a little bit better. So whereas the Prism just kind of has the knob here to kind of equal out the weight, on the NXT here, they've just raised this section a little bit to kind of help balance it out. And it really does feel really good in your hand. This is a gear-driven drag that has stacked washers in it, and as you tighten this one down, you're going to feel too, this one has a really nice drag on it. But one of the things I like better about the drag on this one, and it could just be a personal preference, is as you look at it here, I think that the NXT series, you can get a little bit better hand on. So it's got some deeper cutouts there in between, which is really going to help, especially if it's gotten a little bit wet, to be able to kind of adjust that drag a little bit on the fly. You'll also see, well, they both have pretty tall arbors. I think the NXT is definitely a lot taller arbor on that, so it's not quite as wide and it might not fit quite as much fly line and backing there, but being a taller arbor means that you're going to have a lot faster retrieval speed and it's going to cut down a little bit on that line memory as well. The next one is the large Arbor series, and as you can hear just by the name, I'll grab one of the smaller ones to compare it here. But if you put these next to each other here, you can really see that the arbor on it is a lot bigger, maybe not necessarily in terms of height, but it's just got a really wide arbor on it, which is going to let you put a lot more line on these. So these can fit about 250 yards of line, and especially if you're going after those fish that have a tendency to run quite a ways, this is going to be a great reel for you. It feels really good in your hand, as you can see, even just spinning this in to reel it in. The spool here sits on 3 bearings and it just feels great in your hand. It's CNC machined out of a solid block of aluminum, and this one uses a carbon fiber disc drag, which as you're cranking down on it here is really nice, provides a lot more drag than either of the other previous 2 reels, but it still has a long ways between all the way on and all the way off there. So as you're moving from fighting that monster to maybe going to something that's a little bit smaller, you're going to be able to adjust this real easily on the fly and move to the next one. It comes in a couple of different colors, so we've got the red here as well as a gold version and a black one, and the spools on all these are interchangeable as well. So if you just buy one of them, but you've got a couple of different types of fly line and you want to grab a couple of different spools in order to use that, you could buy some of the spools in different colors just to help keep your fly line a little bit more organized there, so you always know which line is on which spool. The next one here that we have is the BVK Series, and as you can tell, it has even a taller arbor than the large arbor one here, and that's going to really help just retrieve the line really quickly. With as tall as this one is, you're going to be able to bring it in really fast. It doesn't necessarily have as big of an arbor, so you're not going to be able to hold nearly as much line as you could with the large Arbor series, but you will be able to bring it in pretty quick. You can also tell, just looking on the back of these, some of the big differences between these two, right? So this one has a full framed case in the back, and this one, there's almost nothing there at all. And this one really does feel a lot lighter. It's not just due to the fact that it doesn't have kind of the full case on the back there, but this is also made out of a ported aluminum, which is a way that they've gone through and removed a lot of the extra weight there. And it really feels great in the hand and is really, really light. You also see here on the back for the drag, it's got a really nice drag kind of button on the back here. At least I like it because it's got a couple of different ways that you can use it there. So it's not only got some cutouts, but then on the back it's got a wheel that has some grooves, which makes it really easy to manipulate there, even if it was a little wet. You can also remove the spools on these pretty easily. And then as you see in there, it also has the stacked disc drag system, and then it's pretty easy to convert these from right to left as well. It's made out of the nice anodized aluminum, which is going to keep it in great shape for a long time, but it also comes with a really nice nylon case here. That way as you take it off, you can just throw it in there, keep it away from a few more of the elements and from bouncing around in the back of the truck or car, wherever you're at, and getting some nicks on it. The last one that we have here is the Atoll, and as you just look at it, you can tell it's a lot different than a lot of the others in that it comes with a hubless design, and it feels really good in your hands. It really does give them the opportunity to build a few more features into this one that are just going to help make it a lot more durable. So as we pull that off, you're going to see under here is the sealed drag system, and it is a carbon fiber disc. But the fact that the disc is a lot bigger and doesn't sit on this center hub means that not only you're going to get a little bit more pressure on the disc because it's a little bit bigger, but the fact that it is so much bigger also helps dissipate heat a lot quicker. And so this is going to be a reel that you can use to fight some pretty monster fish there. Here on the back you've got obviously a really big drag knob there as it sits around that hubless design, and if you crank down on it, it's got a ton of drag that goes with it there. This one is also made out of a solid block of aluminum. It's CNC machined and is a really stout reel just from top to bottom there. It's a great reel, has a lot of awesome features. It also comes with a really nice nylon bag there that is gonna, again, help protect it from some of the elements. As you can see here, TFO has quite the variety of reels. They go all the way from one that might be great for kind of that person that's just getting into the sport and still wants a high quality reel but doesn't know that they want to spend a ton on it, to a couple that are going to hold a ton of line on them in case you're chasing those big fish that really like to run a long ways. Maybe you just want something a little bit lighter that's still going to play the fish pretty well, or all the way up to the Atoll series that has a couple of really nice features that are going to keep it in great shape for a long time. Just a really durable reel. The way they've built these things in, that drag is going to be stout no matter how big of a fish you're going after there. Again, it's going to be hard to go wrong with the TFO series here, and it really just depends on what kind of fish you're going after, which one might be the best reel for you. Hey, if you liked our video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as add any of your comments or suggestions down below. For more fly fishing and outdoor related videos, subscribe to our AvidMax YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.